One of the things we do in here in Europe, because we're told we have to, but it is important, is we recycle. We have 4 different kinds of bins that they collect from us, 4 different colours. We have a black bin, a green bin, a brown bin and a grey bin. So the black bin is for what they call landfill, that's for the rubbish that they're not going to recycle, which is not the most rubbish now. Then the green bin is for the recyclables, that'll be plastic, glass, we mix them in. Some places separate them, but here they're mixed up. Plastic, basically plastic, glass, cardboard, yeah, I think that's about it. But plastic, glass, cardboard, paper, those things that can be recycled. And then there's a grey bin which is for food waste. And then there's an extra one that I pay for, which is a brown bin, which is I pay extra for. Not everyone has one of those, and that's for garden waste, which is very useful actually. Anyway, so because of this, we need to separate our recycling out. Now, some countries, for example, Sweden, IKEA stuff comes from Sweden. They can have like 6, 7, 8 bins, but we only have 3. So we have food waste, landfill, just general rubbish that can't be recycled easily, which is that one, and then we have recycling, which is this one. Those 2, we use that for cans when we remember it's empty now, but it doesn't really matter because it all amounts to the same thing. But I have 2 food waste ones because I have one which I make my own compost from and one which I give to the council. So the one that goes to the council has things like citrus peel and what have you in it, which isn't very good for compost, so they can have that. And then our own compost, our own food waste, is things that make nice compost, like just the remains of vegetable matter, coffee grounds, that's a coffee thing, stuff like that. Anyway, so yeah, and then we take them out to the bins from here to the bins, and from there they get collected by the council, and from there it hopefully goes to get recycled. But yeah, this is recycling, as you can see, it's glass, cardboard, plastic, and clean. They ask for it to be clean. The reason they ask for it to be clean is because what happens to it is that mostly it gets shipped to India, I think, or countries like India, where some quite poor people sort through it on very big conveyor belts. But even they don't like dirty stuff, so they ask you to clean it so they can pick it easily off the conveyor belts. Most people don't know that, but that is what happens to it. Okay, so to recycling. So we have, as I say, we have 4 different kinds of bins. We have green bins, of which we have 2 green bins. You only actually need one, but we have 2. And these are for glass, plastic, cardboard, paper, stuff like that. And that goes out every week. We unlock this gate here, we put it outside, and on Friday morning they come and take it away. This is full of electrical rubbish. I've been meaning to get rid of it for ages, just haven't got around to it. It's an old suitcase. And then the general rubbish, the landfill, goes in that. We have to put it in bags to put it in that. We can't just put it directly in that. It's inside a bag, goes in there, and that goes out once every 2 weeks. And then go heading that way. We have a brown bin, and that's for garden waste. And you have to pay extra for this. I pay extra for this, and it does make it easier because when you're doing gardening, you've got a lot of rubbish. I just sling it in there now, whereas I used to have to cut it up and put it in bags, and it's fact, but it's very good now. Just throw all garden, excess garden things. I did some work yesterday. I just throw it in there, put it out when I want it to be collected. Aside from that, we have these. And this. The landfill, you know, the general rubbish is not going to be recycled. It gets put in here, and from here we'll put it into that black bin once every fortnight. It's 2 weeks, a fortnight. And then there's these lovely things. So this is food waste. I emptied it yesterday actually, so it's empty, but it's still, as you can see, not a pleasant thing, but and that goes in our own compost actually. I don't give that to the council. And then, as I was showing you, citrus and that kind of thing goes in there, and I do give back to the council every few weeks when it fills up. So that's it. Yeah, I think that's it.
Right. That was an excellent example of how the citizen can help the government by recycling at home. Saves a lot of money for the government and also helps the citizen. Thank you very much, Andrew.